Okay, so I just came out of that Starbucks here in Calgary, Alberta, and I just finished editing the video you're about to watch. And I have to apologize. This is a big pile of pretty poor video. Image stabilization, windsock, two things I really have to look into. The camera dropped a lot of footage, so there's big sections missing. We actually went to Toronto, it's gone. Other big things are lost. Anyway, editing it was painful. I apologize. We'll see if we can improve stuff coming up, but I had to put it up because it's a continuation of the story, and I'll be home in a couple of days, and we'll see if we can fix things up a bit. Cheers. Well, I've managed to blow a tiny little hole in the exhaust pipe. So while Katie and Geordie have a little fun, here in Moab, I'm going to patch it with one of those tacky exhaust tape patches, but then I'm going to wrap it with some metal and some hose clamps, and it should be bulletproof for at least a little while. Those of you who've had to fix an exhaust hole before will say that is about the easiest possible exhaust hole you're ever going to need to fix. So this should be a piece of cake, and then we can have breakfast, and then we can hit the trails of Moab. So they give you this nice little coil of wire to wrap around the bandage once you've got it on, but I think we can do a little bit better than that with a pretty major chunk of sheet metal wrapped around and some stainless steel hose clamps. Hopefully it'll get me home. Okay, time to eat. Oh, yeah. I mean, really? Caitlin! It's not gonna go that way if it goes.
I know.
Wow.
Right there.
Okay. Well, apparently, this is Thelma and Louise Point. Oh yeah. Or heck, I don't know, maybe this is Thelma and Louise Point. They're all kind of the same. Hey there, buddy boy. Not allowed out here, sorry. I don't know, I was going to say, well, this is guaranteed to be Thelma and Louise Point. It just had a Thelma and Louise feel to it.
When you're driving up, it looks like it's just completely
Yeah, having never seen the movie. I was grateful for the little fire pit there, you know, as my 7th line of defense for not going over the edge. One hand on the emergency brake, one foot hovering the regular brake. Anyway, it's definitely a pretty cool spot. That's good, because actually what we are is lost. We deviated off the trail.
We're not lost. I know 100% where we are.
Okay. All right. Good. Which is good. Holy freaking shit.
Whoa.
I really don't know when to stop shooting footage. No, I'm moved. I'm really moved. Grand Canyon? Come to Moab. That's pretty cool.
That's
Okay, this has to go on the vastly unprepared list. No door tops, no roof, and we just crossed the pass, I guess across the Rockies, east of Vail, Colorado. We went to 11,000 feet and down through the Eisenhower Tunnel, popping out into a blizzard. It's fine down here because we're 4,000 or 5,000 feet lower now. But, oh yeah, that's frost all over those trees there. It's just slightly above zero or right at the freezing point. I think we're gonna put the door tops on and both sides down. All right. Once you get into the middle of America, you're kind of out of the mountainous, easy camping pullover, but you do have the ubiquitous, massive truck stop where they let you stay in their parking lot overnight for free. So this glorious locale, gotta fix that M, is our digs for tonight. And we even patronized the place with some gasoline and a corn dog, which in Canada we call pogos. Yummy. Well, hey there. We haven't shot much video in the last couple of days because we've been bombing across the plains, the Midwest of the US, and we've had snow and sleet and then incredibly hot from St. Louis on. So we're up just shy of, where are we just shy of? Detroit, but
we are just past Kalamazoo.
Just past Kalamazoo, which is a really interesting town because it's where Gibson guitars started. Anyway, very interesting story. Anyway, so just want to talk about, this is Victoria Day weekend in Canada, and that's like a big, like, colonial, you know, 24th of May is the Queen's birthday. If we don't get a holiday, we'll all run away. It's a huge sort of start of summer up there. Some people call it the May 2-4 weekend, and that's not a reference to the date. It's a drinking weekend. It's sort of when you open the cottage and summer really sort of starts. So in honor of the May 2-4 weekend, although we're still in Michigan, we're gonna have a beer for the Queen. Well, I haven't been to Niagara Falls in about 15 years, and wow, it's changed. We just drove down what looked like the Vegas Strip. My last recollection is that, you know, there was room here for 100 cars and there'd be 3 cars in the lot, and yeah.
Look at it! It's huge!
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
I can't honestly believe there's so many people here.
Oh my goodness, $25.
$25 to park? So at $25 parking, I just dropped Kate off and she can go peer over the edge, and I'm gonna go make myself scarce for 15 minutes. I've seen it. What do you think, pup? You've never been to the falls? I've never been beyond the falls before, in other words, further down the road. And it's actually super interesting. I'm killing time while Caitlin's looking over the falls. That is a monster gate valve. I'm assuming that's what it is. It certainly looks like one, and there's another one here. And what's been along this road is all the infrastructure for the power generation. Only a portion of the water that flows out of Lake Erie and into Lake Ontario over that great embankment, down over the embankment, sorry, is actually over the falls. Most of it, or at least a large portion of it, I had to look it up, is used for power generation, both in America and Canada. So what I've just passed here is all the sluiceways and the infrastructure for that, and it's pretty cool. Some kind of neat buildings too. I'll show you on the way back. Let's go get Kate. I mean, come on, that's a pretty cool building. Full of valves and turbines. Anyway, let's see if Kate's done. Okay, now I've hit pay dirt. This has been total pay dirt. This is a classic little Montreal corner patata. What do they call these, Al? What is this? It's a restaurant. The diner. Little diner. Stuffing. What we were looking for, can I hand you the photo? Could you pull out one of those? What we were looking for was an awesome spruce beer. And this will be a beer of the week upcoming. I love spruce beer. So but we got two. So the boys and I are gonna try one of them tonight. Anyway. Well, you're looking at a very proud dad. I've just come out of the 2019 McGill University Engineering Convocation. Just watched Caitlin walk across the stage and receive her degree. Her sister's here, her mother's here. We're having a really great day. It's just wonderful. Anyway, I'll get a little more of this to you soon. Proud dad. I cried. Yeah, I did. Well, I told you I'm a proud dad, and here she is. She's been busy taking photos, finding all our people. Really, really extraordinary experience. Had just a wonderful time here. Thanks, Kate.
It means so much. Even though we had like such a cool experience driving across, it means a lot that like you're here. It is really far. It's a really big trip, and
worth every second. Down in Old Montreal, and like every city is vastly gentrified at the port. This is the port. It wasn't like this when I was a kid. It was just a working port. It's become quite trendy. The neat thing is this marina right at the foot of Old Montreal has transient berths, and this is where I'll stay when I come cruising through doing the Great Loop. Boating season hasn't started here yet. You can just see that dome over there, a little bit of a dome sticking up. That is the American Pavilion designed by Buckminster Fuller for the World's Fair in Montreal in 1967. Still there. All the plastic's gone. It burned in about 1972. All right, back in Old Montreal. I love stuff like that. I just do. I was born way too early. I would have lived up there. This is Montreal's Notre Dame Cathedral. Which normally we could tour, but we can't get in today because it's some sort of special event. Thus the white rolls. Anyway, it is absolutely gorgeous inside. Ironically, the back section of it, when I was a kid, burned and had a fire and was completely restored. So let's hope that all Notre Dames worldwide will be restored to their former glory. Oh my gosh, check out this cool truck! Oh, this is amazing! There's a dog in here! Oh, what a cute puppy he is. Okay, now this is really interesting. I'm on the street that I lived on years and years and years ago in Montreal, and this is a street of big stone houses, and it's a pretty good neighborhood, Westmount, just above Sherbrooke Street, for those of you who know Montreal. Anyway, when I was 19 years old, I bought a tiny little wooden house down this little alleyway here, which is like a little country home. And it wasn't quite as attractive as it is today because I was 19 years old and there were a few cars parked in here actually. But it had this little wooden house right in the middle of the city, nestled in amongst these trees, and it's still here. And it's been fixed up a bit since I was here, and absolutely glorious. And I can tell you, this little wooden house, it's too bad I don't have the wide angle lens because I don't have the good camera with me. I renovated from an absolute hovel to roughly as it looks today. It's been improved drastically by the current owners and some other people in between. But it's just such a privilege to have this little farmhouse in the middle of the city. Anyway, just part of the nostalgia of coming back to Montreal. Anyway, so it's time to hit the road. Kind of said goodbye to my girls yesterday. Kind of got to get back. 10 days across the country. You coming along? Let's go. Well, hello and welcome to Beer of the Week. We're here in Westmount Park in my old hometown, Westmount, which is a borough of Montreal. On my left, you'll recognize Caitlin. Here you'll recognize Geordie, but on my right is my other daughter, Erin, who the same day Kate and I left Victoria, she left Halifax, Nova Scotia, for you non-North Americans, at the other side of Canada on the Atlantic side, and bicycled here to Montreal to meet us. And I think that's just amazing that we all converged here in Montreal, basically almost pretty much the same day, right?
Pretty much, yeah. I actually beat you.
She actually beat us. Today we have for you
Bird, show the camera.
Bertrand spruce beer. This is, I don't know if this is a universal thing all over the world, whatever. It's kind of a...
It's since 1890.
Basically, it tastes like Christmas. But better. It's really good.
Don't hype it up. We haven't had it yet.
I know, exactly. I haven't had it. This is from an ancient old diner in downtown Montreal that's been making this since, as you said,
98.
something like that.
Bubbling is bubbling.
Cool.
That's okay, we can deal with that.
It's okay. Actually, wow.
Yeah.
That was kind of exciting. Anyway, okay, we are doing this park style.
Because we have
In
no
other words,
glasses.
no glass or anything. So I'm going to pass it around. So tell me what
Sure.
you think of that.
I wanted to eat that. Like, I've licked it, but it tastes
really bad.
So
Yeah.
I'm a little worried that's what it's going to taste like. But now
Yeah.
I have low expectations.
Do you want to take the first sip?
I want to.
Okay.
That's so weird. I like it though.
I like that extra
Oh
aftertaste
my
it has.
God,
That's
I
really neat.
love- It's basically like a ginger beer or a root beer. We'll call that a win.
I say
Call
so,
that a win?
Yeah.
Sounds really good.
So from here in Montreal, this is our last day together. I head home tomorrow. They head back to the Maritimes. Okay, well, see you next week on the road home. Cheers. This is actually the most important one ever for me.
Aw.
Oh, I know, it's terrible.